trucks eating chicken, trucking, finger licking, trying to keep it in. This highway's more than blacktop. It's more than these white lines. It's more than just a living, y'all. It's my way of life. Just like my dad before me, I'm addicted to the road. Another day, another town, another long haul load. Slamming truck, stop coffee down. Midnight, I'm Miami bound. 40 tons of Pennsylvania steel. I'll race the rain, fight to win. This radio's my only friend. But Lord, you know I love the way it feels, living life on 18 wheels. I love the new horizons, the change of scenery. Every day's
What's going on, everybody? We're gonna try this again. So I stopped earlier, took my break, and I jumped out and did a video. Jumped out and did a video there while I was taking my break, and somehow or the other, it ended up being on time warp, I think. So everything was like super fast, and there was no volume at all. Man, I'm telling you, technology is not my friend. So we're gonna try this again. So you just saw a clip of the load this morning, picking up these two, I think they call them seed tenders. Picking up these two. It's a pretty good load. You saw them put them on. Pretty simple, not a whole lot to it. They put them on, I chained them down, and then there was a guy waiting to load. He got there kind of right after I did, so he was waiting for the bay. So I just went ahead and pulled outside to throw the straps on the necks that they took off. So I'm gonna try to got my light out. I hope it works. I'm gonna try to walk back here and show you this load now. It's kind of dark, but hopefully this works. But I wanted you to see the securement on this thing. Whew, having a hard time talking. I wanted you to see the securement on this thing. Not that it's anything goofy, but it's a little different than what I've done in the past. So something new for you guys to see. So I'm gonna jump out now, and hopefully this works and you'll be able to see. So here we go. Jump out. Turn these lights off. All right. Oop, door doesn't want to shut. There we go. So I'm currently in somewhere south of Atlanta, Georgia. I don't remember exactly what the name of this place is. So anyways, I'm somewhere south of Atlanta. Looks like I'm thinking I'm about 2 hours and 15 minutes away from my delivery. So I'll try to get this thing, and there's Blue Beacon here, so I'm gonna try to get this thing a bath in the morning before I take off. Go down and get this delivered, and then I got a load booked for tomorrow, but I'll talk about that here in a minute. But I want to show you the securement on this thing real quick. You guys saw the load earlier, so I can't get far enough back to show it to you again, but here, let's see how my light works here. Heck yeah. Whoops. All right, so this is what I did for securement. These guys have these tie downs right here. So I talked to the guy there, and some guys do what I did. I just ran that chain straight across there, all the way over to the other side, back down to the trailer. Some guys will just hook right to that securement point, that tow hook, and just come right down to the trailer with just a binder. I kind of wanted it to go across. I didn't want to bring out 8 binders to do this, so I just thought this was the best way. I took my chain tails, ran them behind that tire and right in out here, threw a bungee cord on, hooked it over here to this one. It's the same thing in the back here. I don't like the way that thing is sitting right there, so move that. Did the same thing back here. Went right through the tie down point, straight across underneath, all the way over to the other side. This right here, this piece of framing right here, this is the actual neck that goes on these machines. This spot right here, there's another one on the other side over there. This frame section actually bolts right into here, but they had to take it off in order to get both pieces on the trailer. So they took them both off, set one in, put the machines on, and then set the other one on the back deck. So I'm assuming what's going to happen, let's see if this thing don't blind me. Ooh, yeah, it's bright. What's going to happen tomorrow is they're going to, when I get the delivery, I'm probably going to have to detach, which is going to be a little tricky, and I'll show you when I get to the other side. I'll probably have to detach, and then they will bolt one of those necks on and then tow it off with a tractor or whatever. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen, so we'll see. So anyways, they just laid those things up on the deck, so I just threw a couple 4-inch straps across them. DOT requires, they say they require 2 straps, no matter how light or how heavy, no matter how light the piece is, you got to have at least 2 securement devices on it. So put 2 straps on this one. Did the same thing here with this back one. Went through the tow hooks there, straight across, right down the other side, and put 1 binder on. Also hooked my chain tails the same way. And on the back here, exactly the same thing again, right through the tow hooks, right down the bottom. Here's the second neck. Did the same thing with that, 2 straps on. I told you in the last video, I like to roll my strap up like this or flip it and then bungee cord it so that it can't go anywhere. It makes me feel a little bit better. Plus, the way I wrap this around, I tuck this in, I tuck the access down in and then fold it over the top. And then when I put the bungee, it actually holds onto that arm too, so it can't jump up. So it kind of works twofold for me. So that's that. These pieces will have to be bolted back on in the morning when I get there. Not too much different on this side. It's the same thing. This is what I wanted to show you right here. Might get a little bit tricky. See that right there? That's where those boxes, those wooden boxes that I just delivered, they were rubbing up against the deck. So this right here has me a little concerned. We talked about it in a couple different videos where this neck here, when I detach from it and I go to hook back in, it's going to tip back. And I got a feeling there isn't enough clearance right here for me to do that. We're going to see how that goes in the morning. I might end up having to pop these chains loose and just kind of give this thing a shove, and hopefully it'll roll far enough back that I can get a couple more inches of clearance there, because I think this is going to be real close. I think this thing's, when it tilts back, after I unhook my dog ears and I go to hook back to it, this thing tilts back pretty far. I got a feeling it's going to be hitting right here, but we'll see. Doesn't look like that's a ladder system, and it really doesn't look like there's any sort of pivot point that I can move this thing out of the way. So looks like we might have to back the whole unit up in order to do it, but Well, that's that. That's a load we'll be delivering tomorrow morning. Picked it up this morning in Delphus, Ohio. We'll be delivering tomorrow morning in, I think it's called Cialo, Georgia, or Cialo, Georgia. Well, that's that. Turn this light off so it doesn't blind me. There we go. So I started to say that I was going to talk about the load I got booked for tomorrow. So let me get back in the truck here. Kind of noisy out here. Man, that truck needs a bath. She's dirty. That's sold up there, up north, boy. Terrible for trucks. All right. I'll go ahead and put you up here on the dash mount. Make this a little bit easier. What we got here? All right, shed some light on the situation. All right, so, man, I struggled a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, struggled a little bit to find a load down here. I had what could have been an incredible load, a really good load booked, and would have made this a great week, money wise. But after doing a bunch of research and finding out whether I could do it or not, because the weight on the weight on it was 74,000 pounds, so it's a little tricky on 6 axles. And I wasn't sure, it was going up to Massachusetts, coming out of Georgia, going to Massachusetts, and I wasn't 100% sure that that there wasn't any goofy frost law, any kind of that garbage going on in the Northeast, which there isn't, not yet anyways. Michigan and some of the northern states, I believe that their frost laws are in effect. And for anybody who doesn't know what a frost law is, man, look this up. This is, it's interesting. Basically, what happens there, from a certain time period, usually late part of winter into spring, those states will reduce the amount of weight you can have on each axle, and it's reduced by a lot. So basically, what I can do on a 6 axle in July requires an 11 axle to go into Michigan in February. So pretty much on a 6 axle setup, I'm not hauling heavy at all in Michigan during the frost law. So, and they're very strict about it. They don't play any games. It's big money. You don't even want to try it. The crazy part about it, this is our government, man. They will issue you the permit. You send your money in and tell them what you want, they'll give you the permit. So you'll get a permit, and man, when you got a permit in your hand, you're like, oh, I'm allowed to do that. Well, you're not. So it's kind of messed up that they shouldn't even issue the permit. If you're asking for that much weight in Michigan, they shouldn't issue the permit. So hopefully, maybe they've changed that. Last time I tried, they would still issue it, which was a couple years ago. So maybe that's not the way. Maybe that's not a fact anymore. But that's the way it used to be, and it's kind of messed up. But you don't want to play with the frost laws up there in north. It's pretty healthy fines, and it's a big deal. So looked into that 74,000 pound load because of the frost laws, paid a little attention to it, and I did a bunch of research. Found out that I could have done it. Called the customer, said, listen, I'm good to go. I think we can do this. I can pick it up tomorrow. And he said, yeah, I just got off the phone with the customer. And this was a rental excavator. And he said, I just got off the phone with the customer, and they decided that they need to keep it for another week. So I mean, that's how it goes. Whatever, that is what it is. They need it, so whatever. Kind of bummed out about it. He said, why don't you come back down next week and pick it up? So maybe I will. I mean, we'll see what I get. See what I get at the beginning of next week. That'd be great. It's a good load. So If not, it is what it is. So anyways, after that happened, I did a bunch of searching, and it's sort of slim pickings for... I needed to head back toward Ohio. That's just the way the timing is this week. I need to head back toward the house, like, or through the house, or some of that nature. So I found a load out of Savannah, Georgia, going up to Michigan, Kalamazoo. Didn't think I was going to get an appointment for that one. They're very strict on their appointment times, which we'll talk about in a second. But you have this website you go to, and you put in your information, and then they call you and give you whatever available appointment they have for the day you want it. I really didn't think, because it was so late in the day after all the other gibberish with that excavator, it was so late in the day that I just didn't think. I thought for sure there's no way I was getting an appointment for tomorrow for pickup on it. Called me, and it was no big deal. They had a bunch of appointments, so I got lucky. I got it scheduled. Now here's the trick. Oh man, this is very interesting. This specific location, they only allow... They asked me what time appointment I wanted, and I said, well, what's my window? If I gotta have an appointment, what's my window? And they said, you have 15 minutes. You can check in 15 minutes prior to your appointment, and you have to be checked in 15 minutes past your appointment, or you risk losing your appointment. So you got a half hour. You got a half-hour window, a 15-minute to 15-minute half-hour window. And I said, man, you work for a trucking company, right? She said, yeah. And I said, you haul specialized stuff, right? Obviously. She said, yeah. I said, you know how incredibly difficult it is for us to give you a half-hour window time frame? I mean, so what I ended up doing to play it safe was I ended up booking my appointment. I think I'm going to be there 11:30, 12 o'clock tomorrow. I think I can be there. I ended up booking my appointment for 2 o'clock, just to be 100% sure. She did tell me while we were on the phone that because I'm an RGN and I don't require a dock, that and this is why their appointment times are so specific. The flatbed and step decks that require a dock, they need to keep their dock times flowing. So they're very strict about their appointment times because of that reason. For us, for the RGN guys, not so much. I mean, it still is important, but not quite. There's some leeway there because we can just detach anywhere, and they can put it on. So that's good. Hopefully, what'll happen is I'll get empty. I'll get over there, 12:30, 12:30, whatever. I'm going to give them a call when I get there and see if I can go ahead and come in early. And hopefully that'll happen. I get loaded early. This particular location where I'm going, I've been there a couple times. A couple other guys have been there, and it is a process. It's just a very, very in-depth process. And to get checked out of there, it takes forever. So I very much anticipate a long afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, getting this thing loaded, but that's all right. I just need to get it on a trailer. If I get it on a trailer, put 100 miles on it, whatever, then I'll be in great shape to run the rest of it on Thursday, and I can deliver in Kalamazoo Friday morning, reload something else that's going through the house, and go home for the weekend. So that's all I need, is to get it on a trailer and get maybe 100 miles off of it, which leads me to my pop quiz for you guys. Something I've been toying with doing, these asking you guys questions, see what kind of answers I get. This particular question, I actually don't know the answer for sure. I am going to look it up. So on tomorrow's episode, after I pick this bulldozer up that I'm picking up, I'm going to answer this question. But I'm curious to see how many of you can answer it. So today's pop quiz question: what states, I'm going from Georgia to Michigan, what states en route, which my route will be Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan. Which one of those, how many of those, and which ones are they, will let me run at night. Do you remember? I actually talked about this, some of these states. So I'm interested. If you think you know the answer, throw a comment below. I will let you know whether you got it right or not. But for anyone who's just looking for the answer, I will, on the next episode, when I pick up that bulldozer, I'm going to film there, and I'll go ahead and answer this question. But I am curious to see how many of you guys are paying attention, and if you can figure this out. So there you go. We'll see how these answers go tomorrow, and I'm gonna edit a little bit of this video. Hopefully I'll get it posted this evening. Obviously I kind of need to now that I asked that question, but get it posted this evening, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning at delivery. Hope you all have a great night, and if you're watching this tomorrow morning, I hope you have a great day.